Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, drop us a follow on X, former Twitter, and follow us on Instagram and TikTok. You can listen for Fratelli Rugby podcast on Spotify and every other platforms. We also have a group chat on WhatsApp. So message us to join the family.
Hello, good morning, buongiorno.
Good morning, good afternoon. How are you, mate? You well?
I'm good, Mike. I'm good. I was just checking because look how cool it is. We are live on Instagram.
Live on Instagram.
Yeah. New Year's Eve, new good stuff for the
fancy.
You heard that?
We love the fancy, don't we?
The Theo von Fanciness we have there.
Yeah,
Hi guys, hi Simone. Today we are on YouTube and Instagram, as said, and then you can listen us on Spotify. But you already know Theo von Voice said everything.
Yeah, I think for legal reasons we'll have to say Theo von Likeness.
Likeness, right?
The likeness of Theo von.
It's automatic AI, but sounds like him. That's fine.
Yeah, that's right. Hi Simone, how are we?
Okay.
In the chat already.
Mike, before starting with the rugby, what are you going to eat tonight? How is the situation there?
Yeah, after this, I'm gonna go to my parents, take the little ones, see Nonni. Yeah, that's it really. We're gonna stay there. We're gonna have a nice time, and you know how it is. Like I'm sure it's the same with you guys. Like it's always an abundance of food. So looking forward to dinner as soon as we finished. How about you?
I'm going probably vegan tonight. So we're gonna have
You're going vegan tonight?
Yeah, something that happens sometimes. Not so we are good with all the family, no? So everybody gonna be good. But have a good beer, good wine, stuff like that. They're gonna help. But usually, I really like when we try vegan stuff here. So.
What is it? Walnut roast? Is that what I've had walnut roast before? It's nice, but
I don't know. I don't know yet because here it's 11:35. I'm in Boston.
Oh yeah, it's a bit early. Yeah,
it's early for me. I have lunch and then I'm gonna think about later.
Yeah. So okay, fair. That's fair. Yeah, I'm excited to be honest, mate. Like it's always nice to spend a bit of time with the family, isn't it? So how is it in the States? You're back next week, aren't you?
Yes, next week I'm gonna be back in Bulgaria, not back in Italy.
Yeah. I had a few people when we were last recording. They were just where's Otto? Is he all right?
My phone always likes to die, and then assistants.
It's all right. I said that you had a bit of a bellyache from eating all of this weird pizza across the pond. So that's
out to Niels, our friend. Yes, I ate a weird pizza the other day. I told you in our WhatsApp chat.
Yeah. In the WhatsApp chat.
Yeah, mac and cheese on the WhatsApp chat. I didn't take a picture just so Phantom can survive the weekend. Another of the guests in the chat. It's like cicce lenticchie, no, Phantom.
Yes, Phantom. Exactly, Phantom. Yeah, that's what I'm going home to in a bit.
Good. So that's the situation for now. So ready to put our feet under the table, no? I piedi sotto al tavolo, ready to eat for you and for a lot of you that they're here. I'm sure Phantom is organizing something. Gabriele, Simone, lasagne for Simone. Talking about something that starts with the L and it's lasagne and lamb, something that usually you can eat in this period of the year. Lamb will miss the tournament. Let's start with this thing.
Do we think Lamb will? Yeah, it looked bad, didn't it? It looked. He's been unfortunate because obviously he got that head knock. He did the return to play protocols because he failed the HI because obviously he was stretched off. He comes back and it looks like he's done his shoulder. I mean, I think potentially that looked a lot worse than the head knock did, and the head knock looked bad as well because he was pointing at his neck apparently Phantom mentioned. I didn't see that at the time, but Phantom mentioned they was pointing at his neck. So yeah,
nightmare for
it's
us.
tough. Nightmare for us. I don't know. It really depends, because I think the little we've seen of Yakitsi this season, he looks good. He looks good. Obviously, Lamb's been playing his best rugby, so yes, it's a loss for us. But I don't know.
Still, there is, one door closed, another one's open. So we are in those situations that we have to take everything we got and hope for the best. Let's say, in general, him, Riccioni, we know how bad was the injury for Odogu, stuff like that, but we are carrying on anyway, and we're gonna.
Yeah, like you said as well, we're going to see the selection within the selection. So now we're going to start seeing the pecking order a little bit. And actually, one of our long-term listeners messaged us. There's something brewing in the background, which we're quite excited about, and it sort of pertains to what we're talking about now a little bit in terms of like selection and stuff. So quite keen on seeing that turn into fruit. But now we're going to start understanding a little bit more about Quesada's idea of the pecking order of positions.
Yeah, and then we're gonna have a lot of time to speak about like why the selection goes in this direction more than the other ones. Let's see with the injuries, how this, and new players, because there is also that the idea. I wanna just to say hi to Seb Negri, that is listening us on Instagram. Seb, big friend, big fratello di rugby. Congratulations for the try. We're gonna jump on the Derbies then as number 8 this last week. Yes.
Yeah, I messaged him. He was a beast unleashed that game. Fair play to the boy. He played really, really well. So always nice to see a friend of the pod doing well.
Then we have, of course, Riccardo, Nico. We have Robbie here. Here we go. Nico from one side to the other one came. I just see him on Instagram. Now he came on YouTube. Great. So that's the situation with Lamb. I'm going to probably clip his game because it was a great game. Sadly, against Gloucester, which is going worse and worse this season.
I didn't want to say anything. I was waiting for you to bring it up.
I'm going to tell. It's a never-ending season. My God, when it's going to get better? And even with the internationals on, it sucks.
I just want to ask, how much did you scream when you saw the Beard try saving tackle? Like, because I can imagine you turned it off then. I
watched silently the game this week. I decided to go for the silence because
okay.
No, I was mad 3-4 weeks ago. The game against the Bristol Bears for me was bad.
Yeah, I watched that game yesterday actually, the Bears game as well. Day before yesterday, sorry, against Exeter. We saw young Vincent as well run out.
Yeah, that's shout out to him. Another great game. The performance of his game is out on my channel, so you can go and take a look.
Link it. We'll link it. We'll link it in the description. I think that's the play. If we speak about someone that Otto's mentioned in the pod, we'll just link it to his YouTube so you can see what we're talking about. But he almost scored a wonder try, that young boy, didn't he?
Well, that was crazy. A nice kick after a pick and go on I said on the Onfuli style, that pick and go that you are there like covering, supporting on the rack and then run away. He tried multiple times during the game, so probably he has like a green light to do that kind of plays. Maybe we can next time, but the kick and just a high tackle there because he brought the guy in, the fullback.
Yeah. I mean, it's a shame. The way the guy was lying, like that's the only point of contact. He was always going to hit shoulder and his arm wrapped around. But it is what it is. I thought you had a very, very good game again, which is always good to see. It's good to see the players playing abroad represent us in that manner. So good on them.
Yeah. Before moving to the Derbies, two information. The first one is don't miss next week, because
Don't miss next week episode of the podcast. We will announce the Fratelli D Rugby Awards 2023.
For the people who were asking for this fancy stuff, here we go, back again after 1 week.
Yeah, we're starting to brainstorm now. We've got some funny ideas. Yeah. It's one that's worth a watch. Otto, if you want me suited and booted for that as well, I'll wear tux. I'm not afraid. I'll go smoking jacket for it. We're all good.
Let's just Back to the Future. That was great with the Doc Brown Award, the Purple Cobra Award, guys. We have also the brick moment that can be maybe a lamp moment.
Brick Hildeman.
So we have good stuff coming.
Yeah. We're excited.
Hey, we have already a guest from a guest.
That's right. I have to think of the award name for that one then. But yeah, I'm all for it. So yeah, we're excited. We're excited about next week. It should be a bit of a laugh. But yeah. Keep your eyes peeled, boys.
Okay, let's go. So the game, the derbies. Let's start from, you spoke last week, of course, with Phantom. So let's focus on these Benetton Zebra games.
Yeah.
I mean, game for you.
Yeah, I mean, Benetton showed the class, right? Benetton were threatening to gel over the past, 6 or so games, and it looked like the attack worked a lot better to this week. And we're starting to see it sort of at times the week before as well. But it seemed like everyone it was a little bit more fluid. And I think I said against Phantom. To Phantom when just before the Zebra game, because we haven't actually spoken about the previous the previous week as well. That Benetton always seemed like they were that one pass, off. Like there was, the movement was good, but it was that one pass off or that missed pass or, whereas we didn't see as much of that, and as a result, we saw more tries. So it's, a lot of people like the attack needs a full sort of rework, but it was always that one pass. And yeah, like I said, we saw a little bit more clean ball. So yeah, I suppose for me, we spoke off air. You sort of accurately, I think it was very, very accurate from your side. I thought it was going to be a little bit closer. I also think if we're looking at the whole sort of game, just a couple of key points in the game. I think full score coming off really slowed their ball down as well. They weren't recycling as quick. Obviously, Fratelli goes to 9, and he did a great job. I was really impressed with how he played, but he's not a 9. So
he's not a 9, but he's playing 9. I mean, I got what you're saying.
Yeah. He was playing 9 because full score was off injured. I don't know why Garcia can come back on, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, there was a lot of positives from both sides, but Benetton definitely they can build on this massively.
I think watching back, I rewatched before starting the pod. The first half, you can see some clarity movement from the. Even if there were two different 10, because there were Montemario on one side and Marino on the other one. No, there was something exciting about this game. You see the first 2 attacks of Benetton from line out, the classic. Hard middle rack with a crash ball, second coming around that track, and then moving with really speed, accuracy of passing, and good runs. That always helps you, because then from that attacking pressure that you put, they grow with the first penalty, the penalty to go in the touchline, and from there attacking and scoring. So they were good, a really good start for me, and they always killing the ball really well, like Lamaro 2 weeks ago, getting the ball, stopping the momentum for Zebra. And Zebra, for example, the first real multi-phase attack wasn't that. There wasn't any flow to attack. There wasn't the good momentum. The ball was going back. So on one side you have the Zebre defense that was like a little bit passive, but the move, the attack was hard by Benetton. On the other side, ruthless in defense by Benetton, and Zebre wasn't able to attack more.
Yeah, I think you summarise it really well. I think this week Benetton were more prepared for Zebre than they were last week. Zebre in the second half of last week, they were a little bit more relentless in like the way that they retained possession, and then obviously I think Lamaro maybe 3 times, but sub 5 meters makes a turnover, and they've lost those chances, and that's great defense. But what I'm saying is now Benetton didn't even they just suffocated them. Like you said, they were very, very diligent in defense. They were turning over in the right places. They were counter-attacking very, very effectively. It was just like a big dub for Benetton. And Zebre can take a lot out of the game. Don't get me wrong, but I think less than they probably took last week, if that makes sense.
No, made completely sense. And also, you know what? It's weird because you have these 2 games, 2 times you are without your number 9 for the yellow card for Garcia, for the yellow card for Fusco, and that doesn't help in some situation because you don't have the driver of play. The driver.
Yeah,
it's like who's gonna push the pedal? Who's gonna be with the throttle? Who's gonna steer the wheels?
Yeah, I thought Fusco had a really good game last week as well, and he started brightly. And I think actually a lot of the good that they did that surmounted to the try was because they were getting quick, accurate ball. And I'm a massive, massive fan of Garcia, but I really like Fusco as an impact sub with them because both have a very nice tempo. They put a nice tempo on the attack. Fusco obviously is a little bit more running than Garcia. Garcia seems to like the passes from the base, and he's very accurate with those. Fusco's a little maybe less of that, but more on his running game, and he creates space that way. But yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting dynamic. It was also interesting how much Benetton targeted the breakdown. Like you said, they dirtied the ball very, very well, which we'd expect. Because Zebre without quick ball, well, we saw what happens, right? Yeah, they struggle.
And the idea also to pass in the first half. Let's focus on the first half. There was more battle, let's say, because then in the second half, even with the changes, everything was different. But the thinking about how Montemauri moved the ball, he had a decent game, I think. But for example, you see some movement around the minus 15 of the game when you see Garcia moving to play on the left side, maybe 2 phases, and then you see how they want to open the wave on the right side with Montemauri struggling to go right, left. Where should I go? No player behind the pod to have an option, and that it's something that they have to focus on. Maybe Prisciantelli wasn't coming off really well in those decisions, or maybe it was second receiver, not first receiver there. So that is something they have to work with. But Montemauri needs time, and Marin needs time. Those guys, play, man.
Yeah, let's talk about those two actually. And I think first things first. I agree, right? We haven't spoken about this beforehand, but I absolutely agree with Montemauri. That's what I meant by Benetton being able to isolate the attack quite well. Right. A lot of the good comes from, Montemauri's running game. We're just talking about Fusco around the ruck and running, but Montemauri creates a lot of decent space. But like you said, no options, isolated the attacker. Turnover happened quite a lot off Montemauri. Marin, by contrast, looked like he doesn't look like a player that's been out for a year. This is his 3rd game back. He looks pretty good. Obviously he's not perfect, but he hasn't played fly half all that much. He looked good to me. What were your thoughts?
Good to see him after 3-4 games in a row. Kind of that is something that really stand out because we were scared. Oh, come on, another injury is gonna kill him. No.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen.
He looks in good shape as well. Is what
And
I mean.
I love the way he moved to create the line break in the first half. That was great. But then he maybe overplay. He was confident maybe in that moment to move that ball over and pass it. So that was something that, oh crap, that ball didn't went on the wing to score, but that was great. Something about like Seb Nick did almost the same movement when he scored the try, now going in that gap, taking the gap and running into. But
taking
I
2
like
weak
the
shoulders
way
with him.
you can see he wants to play a lot of the ball, and it's electric with the ball in the hands. It can be really, really good push for Benetton because they're working really well on the length of the team, except for 3 cases, let's say, because we are not seeing those players. So we not see one of them, Lazzaroni, but Lazzaroni is a Treviso man. It's different. Nemer dropped a little bit in the.
Apparently, he's injured as well.
In the standing, but other 2 Pettinelli we didn't see a lot. These players, but in general they're playing pretty well the length of the team because they are playing in the same way. If the mistake comes is like a general mistake, is not because he's not ready to. Of course, there is Watson, but Watson I care a little bit less because on the Italian side for the national team, I care more about those players.
I think the expectation is we've got a couple of. I think next game in the URC is against Leinster. We're going to see Watson. We'll probably see players that we haven't seen in a while. We'll probably see Minardi, maybe not. I don't know. But like you said, the staples of the team, we'll see Pasquale, we'll see Lazzaroni, we'll see probably Nemer, unless Nemer gets called up straight away. I don't know the severity of his injury. Until recently, I didn't even realise there was one. So I'm very much with you. There's been a little bit of a dip in form with young Nemer. It's been maybe off the back of the World Cup. He didn't have the best World Cup, and it's a confidence thing, but. Yeah, I agree. I think we've seen some fantastic players step up. Even at the start of the season, I know we're big fans of Spaniolo as an example in the pod. He's stepped up massively. We can talk about a number of players, but like
Mr. Lucchesi kick.
The
Lucchesi kick man.
Hey, he's like perfect example. Lucchesi, right? Like, how much was he missed last year? Sorry, he was massively missed, and it's great to see him back. And he hasn't, he's probably not close. He's not 100%, but he's close to 100%. So if he hits form coming into Six Nations, he's going to be a handful, excuse me, for everyone. And then, like we said, we've spoken about Marin. Great to have him as an option back. We've spoken about these players who have had long-term injury back. So looking forward to seeing sort of how the players continue the rest of 2020. Well, 2024 is what I mean.
So for this game, I'm going to ask you to think about your 2 unsung hero of the week. What do you think? I'm going to try to answer a couple of questions because they're popping out on YouTube. News on Fusco's injury today, 31st of December. No news about his injury. I didn't read anything on Zebre media. So no news on that. Nicolas, the 2 missed red cards. Second half, first half, I don't remember the decision. I'm going to take a look. Phantom, text me. I'm going to tell you more on our Fratelli di Rugby chat about it because I don't remember the moment. Now, and do you recall, I'm going to try to answer and then moving to you the question.
No, that's fine. I've got one.
Marin could fit in the 23 for an Italy game in the Six Nations. Can Marin fit now? If you have to pick now, Marin.
Not in the 23. No. He'll make the team.
Traveling reserve.
Yeah, I think 23 might be a bit of a push with such limited. Hey, listen, he proved me wrong, right? There's 2 more games. Hopefully, he plays some European games, and he has an absolute cracker, and he's forced to play. But Not for me. I've got to be honest. I just want to see a little bit more from him before we put him into the 23. Yeah.
It's gonna be,
What about
it's
you?
gonna be interesting if he's gonna say, "Hey, I'm here, ready. Wait, if you need me, like 2 years ago in Wales, I'm gonna be there. What do you want me to play? 12, 15, 13? Just okay, I'm here." He has some capacity. We have other players that are shining now, no, in that position, like 12. I'm thinking more than a 10. For the 10, let's see, but he's great. Let him play. That is the common thing about Marina. I think let him play, and he is gonna be ready because he's like a cold blood man.
Yeah.
It's like to be ready, drop goals. We know what he can do, so happy to see him.
Okay. So I've got my two. Right?
Okay. Wait.
Oh, okay.
Where
Fancy.
you want to start?
No. If you got something fancy, I'm all for it.
Okay.
And now it's time for the unsung hero of the week for Zebra.
Nice. I'm all for that. So straight in, right, for Zebra, and this is going to be a really contentious one because he did as well as he could do under the conditions he was put into, and I think Fratelli did exceptional at 9. Like I was like I said to you, I was genuinely very impressed with him. But he's not a 9. But he did a job, and he did a lot better than I think a lot of players we would see thrown into that position would do. So that's one for me. Straight off the bat.
Fratelli makes sense, Fratelli makes sense. I can see it's not like unsung. We talk about him in last week. I'm thinking about BG is another one that I didn't think were bad.
Yeah,
in this game.
Yeah, I mean, immediately, like I know Manfredi came on and scored, but he hasn't.
Looks better than 2 years ago, for example.
Yeah, no, he does. Yeah, I think the time under Crowley in camp probably did wonders for him. Like, good, confident level of coaching as well. So, and then obviously they've clearly built on that from the start of the season. So yeah, he looks good.
Talking about accuracy, they're doing really well. Our hookers, they're throwing really well because they're going. The only one under 80% at the moment, I think, is Nicotera. I have to update the last ones, but we are really high on throwing. So both franchises are playing really well from line out, which is
and my second unsung.
For Benetton, you're talking about? Sorry, but I cannot hear you because... And now it's time for the unsung hero of the week for Treviso.
Ale.
Boom. Right. So again, these are unsung. So I appreciate this is completely, a lot of people are going to have different views on it, but at the point where things could have boiled over and it was very close to red cards in the second half, yellow cards, maybe something missed in fairness, but Ruzza came in and showed his leadership. There was like someone running in. Ruzza puts his hand up. The guy stops me like a what you do to your dog.
No, like look at me, like I'm Ruzza. I have those crazy eyes. You don't have with me.
Well, that's it. No, but one of his own team coming in, like something happened with Ruzza. Yeah. Just
the boss
big dog.
Yeah. Big dog.
Yeah, big dog.
Big Scooby-Doo dog.
But stuff like that gets missed because, again, like, yes, it's competitive. Yes, everyone wants to impress who's watching. Yes, everyone's competing for places. Yes, we expected this to boil over. But leadership is something that we lack, and that was just shown. That shows how much the team respect him, and it also shows that how important he understands to keep everyone in check, because that easily could have boiled over. There was a couple of people with a bit of C about them who were winding people up.
Of revenge to take here and there in the field, some words.
Yeah. So normally we say Ruzza, great. Like we'll always like compliment him for the work he does at the line out, all of that jazz. But purely on the fact that he managed to take the boiling pot off the stove and let it, relax a little bit, because it could have been a lot worse in my eyes. So unsung him for sure, because the game could have been ruined off the back of that.
So for me, it's hard. I don't know why I want to put Fekitoa there. I like his distribution as a Brex style, and that it's something that I want to see from him, because I remember Master to do it. And
He takes a lot of pressure off, doesn't he?
take a lot of pressure out, but because we saw Treviso play with his 1-3-3-1, that then it's a 2-3-3, 3-3-2, but they play with the two pistons going in the middle, and then when they move, they can have the wave of attackers. Yes, I saw that. I'm gonna answer in a second, Mike. And so I like that from Fekitoa, because you always want to crash ball, but if the crash ball knows how to move the ball at the last second, and he creates space for the receiving player, so that's great. And
yeah.
And here, Mauro asked me if I'm in the Jessica Fletcher, Murder She Wrote. That is something we can do an award about that. Mauro,
Nice.
I'm coming back. I'm going back to Bulgaria in a week.
Yeah, I agree. Like, he has the ability to create space around him, and it's almost a discussion again for those of you guys who were listening to myself and Phantom a couple of weeks back. It's something that we sort of lack, in centres, or traditionally have lacked at national team. Someone that can give us front football, can break a couple of tackles, and then create space for the people around them, right? So you either have wingers who can create the space themselves, like Cocker Singh at Bath, for example, or Paolo. In fairness, before Paolo was injured, Paolo doesn't need that much space to create more space. Or you have a ball running threat who can also distribute the ball. So a well-rounded player that creates space for the players around them. And Fekitoa just does that. Like, it's just quality player.
It's gonna be. We were speaking also in the other chat with the Italians, let's say, on the Rugby Go chat on WhatsApp, about how important is the situation with the wings now for us, no? To understand the conundrum at 14, understanding in the way we're gonna play, what kind of style our wings needs to put there, like moving some player on the other one to try to fit together. I was thinking like the best Monty. Can we move the best Monty at 14 on that side of the field?
Yeah, I struggle with it's something I thought about a lot as well. I'm struggling with the wingers, to be honest. Capozzo came back, didn't have the best games, targeted a lot.
Yep.
And
Line Phantom. No, he's not. He didn't brought it, but
it's just sad that, like, it's a known fact with our wingers now that we're not great in the air. I mean, Bruno, for all of the beautiful stuff he can do, ball in hand, and his
here we go.
Nicholas, a man of my own heart, Nick, it's one of those, right? Like, I think, I think even Jersey, right? I don't know how good Jersey really is in the air, because he's not targeted that often. And if he is, he's got a lot of backup from the, traditionally when Trulla or like Bani are playing, they're very good in the air. So yeah, I struggle a lot with it. I mean, this is your coach, right? Coach, what's your best three at the moment? I know we're going to go into this in more detail in a second, but
next week it depends a lot on the way they want to play. Because for me, I like a dominant wing at 14, and I want a speedy wing on the 11. My way to watch rugby in general. But now, if I to see that way, for me, maybe an Odogu without the pressure of the World Cup, something that's growing in experience internationally can be a really good call for us. But I think probably
he's missing the Six Nations though.
Yeah, so I can see there something like Pani playing more. that kind of player. I don't care. I play that kind of player I want. The crazy, if I need a crazy player, yes, it's like Bruno, no, it's the crazy player. I want it at 14. I want an 11 that smash people, but can do a lot of tricks around. That's a little bit my idea. So those two. Behind, you need an architect in general, or you want another finisher if you have the 10, 12, and the 13 really strong.
Yeah.
Now, like this, I can see a Pani on Pani 14. I didn't watch a lot of Monty's game. That's the point, because he is the international level is there.
Yeah.
Lack of something in other nation, but for us, it's the most important. So
yeah.
How
He's
because
been our best player for a while, hasn't he?
And the question mark is around like what we're gonna create, but this is for the next. What we want for this Six Nation and after, like talking about selection, we want to try to get something here or starting from zero and create a selection to grow in 4 years. And that I'm happy for Answame actually there, because he's a player that can play 15, can give that kind of ruthless in attack, that flair.
He's got such a good eye.
Yeah.
Beautiful vision.
Needs to play internationally and needs to play with Clermont top 14, not Espoirs. That too. Here we go. Jesse Pani Lainag. Phantom.
I'll be happy if we see Liner, but Phantom, I'm less confident than you, unfortunately. Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I think for me, I think May is. I think we should probably talk about who's been called up for the domestic 35. Obviously, this is not inclusive of the players playing abroad, so we should probably talk about that. And I think you mentioned May has been called up. Is that right, or potentially has been called up over an unfortunate Trulla? Is that right?
Yeah, Trulla was playing pretty well. What he was trying to do on the wing, he do the steps, he do crazy stuff. He should be a little the crazy. Yes, Trulla, another crazy at 14 with the attitude, but he wasn't.
He deserved that.
He's featured worse than what he's doing.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the point for me.
Yeah, I think for me, right, if I was Quesada now, I would take a little bit of the Warren Gatland philosophy of last year and say to the guys, like, what is it that you want to achieve? And obviously the Welsh players said that they want to be a team that, are really hard to beat. Might not necessarily win many games, but they're going to make it really, really tough defensively. Like, people are going to know that when they're playing Wales, they're going to get, it's not going to be a fun day for them. That's what we sort of need to achieve, because the attack's there. Like, we know how to attack, and we can see that more from this weekend than maybe we could see, in previous weekends with Benetton firing as well. So, yeah, if it was me, I'd say I just want really well defensive-minded for.
Quesada always spoke about effort. You have to put the effort. Everything you do, you have to put the effort. And that's, for me, something I want to see in the new wave, because on one side we have the Benetton skyrocketing with performance, sometimes lucky, the 85% of the time well deserved what they did and what they're doing, and they're like enjoying all what they're doing, like defense. Here we are, come to us, because we're gonna take the ball and kick you back. Perfect. Amazing. Zebre, I don't care about how the game is going, I'm gonna keep attacking. That is another good stuff on one side. On the other side, so if these two philosophy maybe try to go together and be more efficient, maybe it's gonna be a really click, and Quesada has to be good in pulling all the strings together in that idea, because the idea of an Italy that it's again a pain in the ass every time you play against, but can win the game, not only you score a try at the end of the game. No. For me, that is something.
Yeah, and also I think, like, I'm seeing elements of that coming through from Benetton as well. We spoke about Lamaro, right? Just from last week, the heroics that he put in. Lamaro isn't really known for his turnovers, but getting 3 really important ones in, crucial parts of the pitch is very Zuliani-esque, let's be honest. And
but also
he's really
Lorenzo Cannone style, those kind of stuff.
Yeah, both of those two are sort of known as poachers, right? Whereas he's now stepping up and he's developing that side of his game. We know his running game. I actually think last week was the best I've seen Lamaro play in at least since last year's Six Nations. I genuinely think that. I thought he was exceptional last week. And we've got these obviously fantastic players that can come in and do these wondrous things. And actually, if we start adding little bits like Lamaro becoming more of a jackal threat, and then actually people are a little bit more concerned about what he can do at the breakdown. So maybe they over-resource the breakdown as opposed to just, sitting off because they know it's Lamaro. He's not going to try. These little things, these tiny little things contribute to, okay, maybe a little bit more space. Again, we look back at last year's Six Nations, we lost by inches at times. Against Scotland, we lost by inches. Inches of space make a massive difference. So these little things like starting to move in the right direction, I think, I'm excited, man. I'm so excited for this Six Nations.
Yeah, everybody like Zuliani, only Fetcher, Robbie coming back with Fischio. Fischio is one of the Fetcher we have.
Yes.
And of course, Lucchesi more than Riccioni, I think. Lucchesi is a good Fetcher too. Oh, it's going to be a lot of interesting. We're going to start speaking about this in the upcoming week because we said awards next week is going to be funny awards. We're going to give, and then we're going to start thinking about, yes, of course, Challenge Cup, Champions Cup, all of this. But 1 month, we are 1 month and a few days. And then we're going to be in Rome, Mike.
We are.
It's going to be fun.
We are.
Think that, guys, because we are really happy if you are going to be in Rome for the first game. And if you're going to Artena to the Museum of Rugby and everything, we're going to be around. So just text us, send a message. Yeah. We're happy to share a couple of ice ones.
Yeah, for sure. And I was going to say, if you guys are coming and you guys want to obviously have a chat with us, obviously, we're excited to speak to you guys in person. So just let us know. We'll put you in a WhatsApp group. We'll coordinate on that. But yeah, we're really excited for Rome. We've got some nice plans for Rome. So yeah, hopefully hear and see you guys soon.
Okay, so I want just to give the last skit that we have, because we have to remember that all the analysis and stuff we look at, because we have good big news coming also with Leo, all the analysis and stuff. We need to thanks Longo Match.
Performance analysis in sport has never been easier. Longer Match is the right tool for coaches, analysts and athletes. If you want to learn more about, please visit longermatch.com. Start analysing your games today.
So start analyzing your match, watch your match, and watch Longo Match, and watch us every time we are here.
Yeah.
Exciting. So you have a good cotechino e lenticchie tonight.
It is. Yeah. You laugh. That's true. That's what I'm going to eat in a sec. So yeah,
I'm going to have a couple of bottles of Prosecco tonight, but no, I'm going to have a sandwich, something, eccolo, una certezza, Amida, grande, presente sempre. But anyway, Mike, see you next year. Catch you up in a few days before I'm leaving. Probably we're going to speak again. And don't forget to subscribe and everything. Now it's going to start the Tiovon and the end. But thank you for everybody. And we wish you a happy new 2024. Buona fine e buon inizio a tutti. Arrivederci. Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Ciao a tutti.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Drop us a follow on X, former Twitter, and follow us on Instagram and TikTok. You can listen for Fratelli Rugby podcast on Spotify and every other platforms. We also have a group chat on WhatsApp. So message us to join the family